Hello world, we've got the best of the best in the house. The newest Shimano XTR 12-speed drivetrain versus the 12-speed Sram XX1 Eagle. Guys, if you like details and the truth about components which you pay a lot of money for, here you have it. Let's get right into it. The cassettes first. And this is the cassette from my 2017 XC racing bike, which has got 10,000 kilometers under its belt. Here we have the drivetrain on the newest generation of this bike, which has been ridden for 70 kilometers. The first thing about Sram cassette and its superiority to XTR, would you ever guess that I did 10,000 kilometers on it? So the first thing is the coating. The coating on Sram, at least the gold one, I didn't try the rainbow, is amazing. This is 10,000 kilometers. Now look at the XTR. 70 kilometers, 70. I just started riding on it. The coating on the XTR is just not as good as on the Sram. Now for the materials. On the XTR we've got steel, titanium and aluminum. They need to play with different materials to actually keep up with the weight of the one block steel, the gold one, and the aluminum largest sprocket on the XX1. The durability on both the anodized, the coating, and the steel itself is amazing, and it is worth the money. I'm not complaining about XTR. This is my second bike on the XTR 12-speed cassette. The first one is the hardtail, but the coating is not as good and the design as the Sram. There is no spiders, just like one big block of steel. Beautiful things. The shifting on both is great, but here is when the derailleur comes into play. The Sram XX1 re-derailleur is much better, unfortunately I have to say it, even though I love Shimano, than the Shimano XTR, especially in two places. Number one, look at this little wheel. The cable comes through the cable guide. The housing ends here. And then the cable continues to go up. It has to make the U-turn to be mounted here with this bolt. And this wheel does amazing job in smoothness. It does smoothen out this curve, this U-turn. Now look at the Shimano. I was complaining about this for years already, and they haven't changed it. So just look at what's happening right here. The cable comes here. It ends here. The housing. Then we've got the cable stop, and the cable need to do one turn and then the U-turn. Look what's happening with the coating on the cable. You see the coating here? It can actually get stuck in this little, I think this is like a short Teflon tube. This should be curved more like that. I know it will change the leverage, so you know, the R&D need to work on it, but this is not a good design because we rip off the coating off the cable just right away. It gets stuck here and it's not as smooth as this one here. This additional wheel, beautiful thing that the R&D department from Sram have done. This is, I would say this is not even good. It works, but I would prefer not to use coated cables just for the sake of avoiding them getting stuck here in this Teflon little thing. See? And it's same on the road. Why is it like this? this cable should not even touch this, this cable guide here, or cable stop. So that's one thing. But the other thing for shifting might be even more decisive is the clutch. The bearing clutch on the XX1 on Sram stuff is amazing. This is stable enough, but it's smooth. It is really smooth, and you don't feel the clutch when you are changing the gears. You don't feel that you have the clutch. On Shimano, just do a little test. If you have any on the 12-speed Shimano derailleurs, turn on the clutch, go through the cassette up and down, and then turn the clutch off and do the same thing. You will see huge improvement in shifting, because this clutch is actually quite primitive. And yes, I am complaining now about this clutch, and it doesn't work smoothly. It is more like, okay, this is new derailleur, 70 kilometers. What I would recommend for everyone having Shimano clutches to do is to open this port, and if you have the adjustment, I think, yeah, you should have on, if I remember correctly, all of those 12-speed derailleur will have the adjustment because the clutch will be there. Readjust it a little bit, just unscrew just a little bit so that you can feel that the shifting will be better. Especially when you are doing multiple shifting, you will feel like this is not working well, like there was a lot of mud and rust in your cables, but this is your clutch doing that job. Of course, it stabilizes the derailleur, maybe even better than the XX1. But the one on the XX1, I would say it's that balanced feel of the clutch. So I would really recommend for you to readjust, and you will have to maintain this clutch, because after some thousands of kilometers, it will start working like, which I've showed you on the previous 11-speed generation XT derailleur. So first, the coating doesn't seem to be as durable on the cassette as on this 10,000 kilometers ridden one. And then the cable guide with this wheel, additional wheel, and the bearing clutch are the things that are superior to XTR. My friend has crashed on my bike. He's bent the derailleur hanger. It was 2 years ago, and this derailleur still works. I have no complaints about durability of the XTR. As I said, I also have it on my other bike, which I did a couple of hundreds of kilometers on, and it's cool. The system for removing the wheel is also better on Sram. Here you just switch off the clutch, you shift down, and then you need to pull this derailleur. Here, what you are doing is that you will open this derailleur, you will push this button here, and your derailleur is already doing the job. This is better. Then in order to just lock it back, you do this, and it's back. So here you have my honest opinion about both Sram and Shimano drivetrain. I'm using both. I like Shimano drivetrain especially because of the shifter. I'm gonna make another episode about that. But as for the cassette and derailleur, Eagle by far. Let us all know, what do you think? See ya.